Well, thank you for joining me for another Alex on Tech and iTWire video. I'm at StartCon 2019. The event has just finished. You can see things are being taken down. There's somebody else's logo behind, but I'm here with Justin Wastnage, founder of Vloggi. And Vloggi was just announced as one of the grand finalists for the,
Pitch for a million.
That's right, pitch for US 1 million, which is 1.5 million Australian. So I guess so welcome, and thank you for taking part in this video. So what's the short version, you know, the pitch, I guess, of what Vloggi is and why you felt the need to start it?
Well, the short version is that we're a collaborative video platform, and what that means is that we make it really easy for anybody to co-create professional looking video products with their community, with their customers, or even their colleagues.
And so, how does that collaborative process work? Obviously, you would imagine people are somehow sharing videos, but I mean, everyone's got a phone in their pocket, they can make a video. But how does your system improve on that dramatically, and how is it different?
Look, in the most basic level, imagine it was an Instagram story where many people can collaborate. So this could be as simple as people traveling together, wanting to make an instant highlights video of their trip, or in the business sense, it's actually commercial companies or community groups crowdsourcing from their community or from their customers, and actually getting those customers, incentivizing them to all contribute video clips. And then we have a very simple dashboard where marketing managers or whoever, the community leader, can just drag and drop those clips into a template that they've created with their branding and have finished videos. And it's so quick. I mean, basically what we've done is make it quick, easy and cheap to mass produce video.
Yeah, because I normally say price, quality, speed, choose any two, but you've managed to figure out how to get all three.
yeah, exactly. So normally one of those is a compromise, right? But we are we're cost effective. We're $79 US a month. Yeah. There is a free tier as well, but essentially we're around the $100 mark, and for that you can have about 100 contributors if you're on the medium tier, or unlimited contributors. And then it depends on how many minutes of video. But you're right. So basically, what we've done is we have cracked video templates in the heart of the system, and we've also coupled that with a crowdsourcing engine, and we've then got a video encoder that actually spits out professional-looking videos very quickly.
And people are doing this all on their smartphones and tablets?
Yep. So at the moment people are filming the content on their smartphones, and the majority of people are actually pulling the videos together. The curators, if you like, are doing it on a desktop.
Through a web application?
Through a website, yeah.
So simple and easy, no complicated downloads?
No downloads, and we're about to make it even simpler, because we're about to replace our app with a web interface, mobile web interface. Yeah. And that will also have the ability to create the finished videos as well.
Now, I do have the pitch that you gave as part of the pitch for a million, sort of re-pitching for the grand final nomination process, and that still will complete in March 2020. So there's no final winners yet, but out of a whole stack of Australian ones, you were part of the top 3, so people can see what that pitch was like. And one of the examples you gave there was of a travel company that was using your platform to create short videos, and there was some sort of hotel that had paid somebody $7,000 to create videos, and they were able to do the same sort of thing in just a few minutes. So just briefly tell us about that story.
So you're slightly conflating two of them.
Two of them, yeah.
I gave 3 examples. So one is a corporate travel agency, and travel agencies have a real need. So they need video for their marketing, and they also have, on the other hand, lots of free trips that their staff go on. They're called fam trips or famils in the industry.
I think I've seen Booking.com doing these videos on TV where they say this video was filmed by our staff who went on some sort of trip.
Oh, have they?
Yeah, okay, well, just in the last couple of months.
Well, that's interesting. Okay, so that's exactly what we're tapping into. Yep. So there's a huge wash of free or complimentary travel done by agents and done by bookers and travel journalists.
They want their staff to be able to say, I've been on that trip and it was great.
Exactly. Yeah. Right? And what they wanted was an easy way to do that. And they also wanted every episode in a series to look the same. And that's what our tool does. Okay, so it enables them to make those videos easily, but in a standardized format. And then the second example that I gave was the City of Sydney did a conference much like this, a startup conference, and they gave delegates, so that they
access to the app.
They shared the link to the landing page to delegates, and they were able to produce a delegates highlights video of the conference the same day and publish it to LinkedIn, and it cost them $79. Yeah. And I spoke to the videographer they'd hired at the event, and she said, "Oh well, they're only paying me $7,500 for this, but I've got to turn it around in a week." Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's the kind of difference in price. And then the last one was is a pilot we're doing for a very large hotel chain, and they're creating guest eye reviews. So really, what they want is endless,
authentic
controlled authenticity. So they love the handheld video footage and they love the user-generated captions, but they want it in a format that looks professional. And that's exactly what our system does.
Yeah. So what was the idea that's, what sparked this idea? What was the pain point for you that you were thinking, I've got to solve this?
Well, believe it or not, I was actually one of the first people. I used to think I was the first, but I was one of the first to ever use the term video blog. Yeah. So I used to make, I used to be an aviation journalist, and I used to go much like what you're doing now, and except it wasn't. So 20 years ago.
It would have been a video camera.
We had a production crew.
Right.
So we used to go to trade shows like this and make highlights videos from the trade show and do them the same day. And Airshow 1, we took a video crew and it was about £50,000. Airshow 2, we got that down to £30,000. But they were still big productions. Yeah. And I remember we were going to this airshow in the US, in Florida. And the editor said, well, we don't have a sponsor for this, so we're going to have to do it on a complete budget. I said, fine, rent me a camera. So they rented me a camera. On the way over, on the plane over, I composed the theme music. Then I shot all the pieces to camera, all the interviews, and then just went back in and edited it quickly at night and put it up on this thing that was then called the YouTube, that nobody had heard of at the time. I said to my editor, yeah, this thing called the YouTube is going to be big, right? Yeah. And he was like, what is that? Yeah. But it was the only way we could get it onto our website. And I said, oh, it's not really full production value, so let's call it a video blog. Yeah. And that was 2005. Wow. So that was one of the kind of things that always stuck in my mind. But most recently, before I founded Vloggi, I was a tourism lobbyist, essentially, working in a think tank, and then I went out on my own. And the one thing that always struck me that every tourism board had, and every travel industry, anyone in the travel industry said was, we need hours and hours of video. We need, if you're a hotel, you need a video for every room type. You need it for the buffet. And if you're a tourism board, you can't use any of the, there are thousands of video making tools out there. Lots of great ones that make it really easy. Promo and all these kind of, these tools, Biteable. But they all rely on stock video, right? And the tourism boards all said to me, you know what, we can't use them because if we're saying you must go to such and such beach, the video must be of that beach. It can't be of a generic beach. No. So this was the real problem, and I thought, well, hold on. Everyone has video cameras in their phone. At this stage, this was iPhone 4 territory. But we did an initial pilot. I built the initial prototype, and we did the initial pilot with South Australian Tourism Commission. And even though we went to Adelaide for the initial meetings and the wrap up, we didn't go to Adelaide at all during the project. And we proved that you could actually source the video remotely from people's phones. So all these suburbs of Adelaide, we got people in those suburbs to actually film their favourite bits, and it was all stitched together automatically. That was the prototype, and then getting from prototype to MVP was an enormous challenge because we actually had to get proper coders, not me. I can code to a certain level, but we had to get proper coders to actually build an infrastructure, build all the data, the data warehouses and protect a lot of the code and that kind of stuff. And then in January this year, we raised $250,000, and that money was to basically take the MVP to what we have now, MMP. And
what is, I know it's minimum viable product, but what is the...
A minimum marketable product. So actually this is a product that people will actually buy. And I guess probably naively, we thought, okay, we've got the product, it works. And then we took it to customers who were like, yeah, love it, and it solves our problem. And then we said, okay, so how would you pay? And we were trying to charge like $3,000. And they went, yeah, we wouldn't pay that much. So we realized our pricing was wrong. So actually we had to move to a subscription service. We had to take out, so initially we were trying to build in the incentivization into the platform, monetization, and fundamentally it didn't work, right? So fundamentally,
it's a rethink.
The only people it incentivized was backpackers, who, that gig economy kind of worker, and it was too expensive for customers to do the volume of what we need people to do. So we ripped that all out and basically just made it a software as a service and said, guys, you use it and you incentivize your loyal customers or your community or your colleagues, whichever way you want to do. So we've got people on there giving away free dog food. We've got a hotel chain giving free upgrades. We've got staff. We've got companies telling their staff they need to do it.
And people are loving it.
But it's not as simple as it could be. So the reason we're raising money now is because it all works, and the pricing's right, and the product market fit is right. but it looks a bit ugly, right? So it's not intuitive when you land on there. It's not intuitive what the next steps are. So we paid quite a lot of money. A great agency called Cordenberg completely redesigned the UX from really understanding what the customer needed to do, what they wanted to achieve at the end. And look, it was a bit confronting at times because we had some assumptions about what people wanted to do, but they did all the research and they said, no, actually what people want to do is X, Y, Z. So we've redesigned the complete UX, and we've actually mimicked the language of the industry that we're disrupting. So we're going to call it video cruise. We're going to call it, you're making episodes of a series. You launch a production. So it's all that kind of, all that terminology, because really we're disrupting the video production industry. I was just talking to a film financing company up there, and there's no reason why this kind of technology, collaborative video production, cannot win an Oscar. We could make a feature film using this.
Well, that'll be a great day when you do, and no doubt you're working towards that. But it has obviously been an incredible journey, and you're still more or less still at the beginning, really. I mean, there's so much more to come when millions of users. Well, I just mean from the point of view that, you know, this is. I mean, you're still looking for funding to improve the product even further. I mean, what version would you call it? 1.1, 2.0?
No, this will be version 3 when we launch it. So version 1 was the...
Version 3 is always the kicker, right? That's always the one. Well, you know, Microsoft had Windows 1, 2, and it wasn't until Windows 3. You know, it was Internet Explorer 1, 2. It was like, there's a lot of things Microsoft does when they get to their version 3. That's the one that is the goer.
I used to work for Microsoft, actually. I worked for Microsoft for 2 years doing their video. I did video case studies for them.
Incredible. So that's been in your blood, video, for quite some time.
Yeah, well, it has. Yeah. In fact, I won an award for a short film I made. But anyway, so
you should see if you can recreate it in Vloggi. Award-winning film, or do a sequel?
It was a short film, so it could be.
Yeah, just for fun, you know. When you have spare time, which you probably don't have any at the moment, but
it's actually not a bad idea. I should do it.
Only because you mentioned you're going to do it, you could win an Oscar, right? So what about redoing the movie that won you the award, or a sequel, or something inspired by, just because you can, and you can say, well, this, you know, in a world where short films win awards, Vloggi can win one too, or something like that. You know, and you need to get that movie guy voice for the trailer.
Coming soon to a small screen near you. I like it. Okay.
Just crazy. I have crazy ideas that I often share with people. They go, oh, that's a great idea, and then I never see them doing it. So maybe we'll see you do it.
Well, like you said, it's time.
Yeah, that's the problem. So the website is vloggi.com.
Yep.
And it's available now. Anybody can use it now. Yeah. But obviously it's going to be improved and updated, and that's going to be irrespective of whether you win awards or get extra VC funding. You're on that path. It's ready to go, and you're earning money now.
Like I said up there about what we're going to do with $1 million, it really just enables us to yes we're going to do the redesign anyway. It just, how fast can we commercialize this? Because look, we have some patents for various bits of core tech inside it. But essentially, the more money we can throw at marketing and get users on board, the quicker we can grow this.
And is there like a library of content that people have already allowed to be shared, or do you have to start with the content from your users, like a blank slate?
Interesting you say this, because we're just about to turn this on. So at the moment, the default position is that all content goes into the library. But we're about to change it so that actually all content is private, but then you can share it
if you wish to. So it's an opt-in system as opposed to opting out. Or...
at the moment it's an opt-out, and we're about to change it to opt-in.
Sure. Well, that's always more customer friendly and more respecting of privacy and all the rest. And if people want to do it, I mean, I know that there's a organization, Storyful, I think, and you can upload your videos to them, and then they can sell that to news stories around the world, news sites, and they can. And maybe it's not Storyful, but they pay you.
Storyful is great guys. They video boxes. They're based in Brisbane.
Okay, well, there was another company.
You're thinking of, so there's 2 companies that actually went bankrupt in that space. Where you upload stuff. I can't remember what they're called. But so fundamentally, this was actually one of the driving features. So those guys started. There was an American company, and then there was an Australian sort of copycat.
I know because I spoke to them, interviewed them. This was 3 or 4 years ago. Their founder one of them actually just in his sleep passed away recently, which is a great tragedy. But I always wondered what happened to that particular service.
Both of them folded, I'll say, rather than what I said before. But both of them folded really because news footage is perishable. So if a fire happens now, then that footage has value. But it doesn't later on. So we started looking at this from a travel point of view, because travel video has a much longer shelf life.
Yeah. Picture of a beautiful beach is theoretically it's going to be the same in 5 or 10 years as it is today, unless it's tsunami hit it or something.
The beach, yes. I mean, really, the real value is in hotel reviews and in restaurant reviews and stuff, and that does change over time.
Well, they read
but still, it's finding that non-perishable product.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, we kind of moved away from that anyway, because what we realised we had in the centre of it was this ability to make collaborative video. It doesn't really matter what industry you're in. So yes, we see an enormous market in travel and tourism, just because their location, their product is on location. Okay, so if you make a video, like I said earlier, if you're looking for a video of a particular beach, it has to be that beach. It has to be that room. It has to be that product. You can't use stock video.
Yeah.
So yes, there's enormous video. So we think that between travel and publishing to include Facebook groups, $150 billion available market globally. Now, if we only take 5% of the Australian market in those two sectors, that's $700 million. So that's where we're going to start, and then we're going to take over the rest of the world.
Well, it sounds really exciting. We're going to have another chat in the not too distant future where we're actually, I guess we can see the interface. Maybe we can make a video on the spot, you know, and see how what it's like. I mean, I'd be keen to see like when it's available in that library of content that you can just log on and after 10 or 15 minutes, bang, you've got a video quicker than you possibly imagined.
You can
do it in 3,
today,
right?
You could get a video back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, look, we're going to get a demo. We're going to learn more about it. Thank you so much for your time, Justin. I really appreciate the chance to learn a bit more about Vloggi and to see you up on stage. That video will be part of the article that this video appears in. So, thank you, and keep making, I don't know, happy memories or lots of cool videos.
Thank you.